Hey everyone, welcome to a new mini-series I'm launching on this channel. I took a look at the year 2025 as the year I wanted to be a little more serious about my new music discovery. As of the creation of this particular video, I've listened to close to 40 albums and EPs this year, so I thought I could share my thoughts on all of those in the next few videos to catch all up. Once I'm actually caught up, there'll be more to come because there's quite a few albums that are coming out that I'm really excited for. I did plan on doing a longer awards video early next year, and this is going to be a great way for me to get a head start on that. In this video, I'll be taking a look at 5 of those albums/EPs, those projects. This format's going to be a little more podcast style, like my other series that I've launched here. That next episode of that collection treasure hunt is scripted and basically ready to go, but I wanted to get this one up because it is a little bit quicker for me to produce this. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. Starting off, well, had to make things difficult for myself, didn't I? The first album we're going to look at is not in English, so I tried to look up the pronunciation, and I'm only going to say the title. I'm not going to say the names of the songs because I don't want to butcher this wonderful album. It's called Journal de Loup-Garou. Hopefully I pronounced that. By Lou Adrian Cassidy. This translates to Diary of a Werewolf. Now, I'm no stranger to non-English artists. In fact, I have quite a few that I listen to right now, including Baby Metal. There's some songs by Volbeat that are not really in English. There's some songs by Opeth that are not really in English. So I'm not too unfamiliar with the non-English songs. In fact, there's actually a few more non-English acts that I've been introduced to this year. This album for me is Sonic Perfection, and it was a really good way to start off the year. There's just so many good moments on this album to list. I can only give you just a little snippet here because I want you to go listen to it. There's always something interesting to listen to with this. There's moments of catchy melodies mixed with dreamlike guitars. And then there's another song that has a touch of synth and haunting melodies. And then there's just these really just shining vocal moments that really highlight the songs. Honestly, the title track is the most standout track with the most going on. It's honestly a sonic wonderscape. This is an album that does not waste a single second of its runtime. The rest of the album is all killer, no filler. And honestly, I give it a 10 out of 10. And those who know me know I don't throw that number around lightly. So before we continue, there's going to be an overall Best of the Year playlist that I'm going to include in the description of every video. It does have some spoilers for future episodes, but as I catch you up, you'll see how it all plays out. Basically, every album that I gave like a 9 or above, unless there's like a really standout track, anything 9 and above is going to be represented on the playlist. And I wanted it to be indicative of what I really, really, really enjoyed this year. Not saying that if I give something a bad grade, quote unquote bad, I didn't enjoy it. It's just there were some acts that I really enjoyed more. So yeah, that'll be down in the description. So, keeping the vibe rolling here, the next album on the list for today is Bloom by Larkin Poe. Basically one amazing album to another. This was not my first time with Larkin Poe. This is their 7th album, and honestly, every time I listen to something from them, I get something I wasn't expected. There's strong vocals with powerful guitars, and it really combines for one hell of a ride. The pair combine blues, southern rock, Americana, and a whole lot of really good guitar to make this blend of just awesome music. There are songs like Mockingbird, Pearl, Easy Love Part 1 that really show off their amazing guitar work, while there's songs like Bluephoria, Nowhere Fast, and If God Is a Woman that really show off their soulful and powerful vocals. The closing track, Bloom Again, shows really what they can really do. It really brings real soulful nature to the music. And what it all boils down to is a great ride that I was really glad that I took, and I really liked it a lot. I gave this a 9.5 out of 10. Hey, if you made it this far, I'm truly thankful. Let me know what you've been listening to down in the comments below. Album number 3 for this video is You and I Are Earth by Anna B. Savage. This was another artist I didn't know about until I heard this album. And what strikes me about this album is the vocals. Every album so far has really done really well with the vocal performance. And this album has a really magical and ethereal touch to it. The vocals are just really soothing. And it's a much more down-to-earth and folky album as compared to the first two. And it's not stripped down per se, but it's not simpler either. I'm trying to think of the word, but it's just a little more earthy, I guess. I would say it reminds me of one of those travel sequences you see in an indie darling movie. I found myself just being engrossed in the music as I listened along. And then one of my favorite things is hearing how singers pronounce words, if that makes any sense. There's a few moments that add that little tingle in my brain, especially in the song Donegal, if I pronounce that correctly. I'll try my best here. It isn't as bombastic as the other two that I've talked about so far, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have merit. This is a folky, wispy album from beginning to end. And it was honestly the right breath of fresh air that I needed after having those really, take my breath away albums, I guess. The first two, it was really awesome. I gave this one an 8.5 out of 10. So we're going to continue the train of new artists. We have Blur by Baba Stilts and OKKea. This album EP, it's a 7-track affair. It's almost in the same vibe as the Anna B. Savage album that I listened to before. There's really a floaty feeling you get when you're listening to it, and there's soothing, almost breathy vocals that's really kind of combined with chill music. Honestly, for a lot of moments, I was reminded of The National while I was listening. It blends indie, and it has those little folk-infused vocals. It's really interesting to sit and listen to. I could see this one also being used in that hypothetical indie darling movie I spoke of in the last album. It's 7 songs. It does not overstay its welcome. It's about 17 minutes, so it's a nice little wispy ride from beginning to end. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. So, for the final album for this video, we're taking a look at the self-titled debut of Cecilia Castleman. This is the most country-inspired album of the bunch. There's a calm melancholy about it. It has, again, wispy, dreamlike vocals with instrumentation to match it to a T. I think by the time I got to this album, I was a little tired with the vibes at the time, so I scored it initially lower than I'm thinking now. And it's not as memorable for me when I'm looking back at the albums on my list, but it's still very strong in its construction. I may have to give this one another proper listen through. I'll still be fair with when I think about it, because there's really some awesome, decent moments vocally in there. It's just, out of the 5 that I talked about earlier, it's the one that I'm probably not going to go back to the most, if I'm being honest. So I gave it a 6.5 out of 10, but that does not knock it in the slightest. There's still some really awesome moments on the album. So that's all I got for you here today. Thank you so much for watching this. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a like. And also, let me know down in the comments below, as I said earlier, if you've been listening to anything awesome, or if there's a standout album that you have found here in the video. And as I said earlier, go ahead and subscribe if you're going to, if you like any of this content here, honestly. I'm going to be posting a little bit more of my thoughts here of the albums for this year. And as I say at the end of everything I'm in, most of everything that I'm in, when the waters get rough, keep on sailing. Take care.